Okay, I only have 5 minutes, so I'll dispense with the obligatory joke, yeah? Actually, the biggest joke is that I only discovered there is an online world last year. And that was when I quit traditional media, and that's after 26 years with ink. Well, and I went into online media, I started blogging. In fact, I started blogging the day I became unemployed. It was such a phenomenon because all my ex-colleagues were laughing away that I actually went on Facebook. So I started with Berta Harian, which I think Singaporeans will know is the daily Berta. And I found that I couldn't get rid of journalism habits. I still keep to house style, and I still cry when people point out that I made a mistake. I've always been asked whether I can keep journalism practices in the new media. Actually, it's very, very tough. It's very tough because online journalism is such a shoestring thing. You don't have layers of checks, you don't have a legion of employees. So actually what you write as first draft is usually final draft. It goes up. Yeah, you lack the resources to verify facts. So what I do, now that I have Breakfast Network, which is a news and views site, is I cheat. I use the mainstream media as my source because they have professional fact checkers. Of course, when mainstream media gets it wrong, I get it wrong too. It's also tough because online, it's tough to stick to journalism ethics because it's so easy not to. One way is it's so easy to cover up your mistakes. When you make a mistake, you can correct it on the spot. If you are a print journalist, your mistake stays with you forever and ever. And your apology has to be of the most abject kind. But that also means that it creates some discipline. You are disciplined enough to get your facts right. So sometimes I must say I cut some corners here and there when I write. It's very bad and I beat myself up, and I hope nobody notices. People ask me sometimes, sometimes newsmakers ask you quite unreasonable things because you're online. They said, I don't like this picture, take it off. I don't like this word, take it off. I said, no lah, I can't do that. And they says, why can't you? I said, because it's not right. But it's so easy, what? Do lah. And I said, no, So because of the way online media is run, it's very easy to be very lax. And it's very easy for your content, therefore, to lack credibility. Another reason it's tough is that since I've started commenting online, I've realized that the online community is a crazy bunch. Oh dear, did I just say that? Okay, never mind. They like to box you up, especially when you have views. You're either, pro-Estep or anti-Estep. You must be rigorously anti-Estep or terribly pro-Estep. You cannot sort of, view an event or an incident on its own terms, on its own merits. You have to take a point of view, which really puzzles me. And I've always told my readers that I will basically judge everything on its merits. I don't have any kind of ideological orientation to it. So the other difficulty is online writing means that you have to be a lot more engaging. The online community doesn't like facts. Yeah, I know. Basically, they prefer comment, which is very difficult for someone like me. I'm used to separating fact and comment. So I use this strategy, which I call the news commentary. You give them enough facts, you write with a point of view, you ask enough questions. Yes, I question every day. And I think I irritate a lot of people. But I happen to think that a citizen needs to do this service. A citizen needs to take part in the issues of the day. You need to raise questions. Or not, why are you a citizen at all? The other thing which I've been asked to talk about is, what about business? A lot of people ask me, how do you fund your Breakfast Network? I said I have 3 angels. I, me, and myself. So with these 3 angels, I'm doing everything on my own. And when you talk about doing business here, Mr. Government and Miss Government inside there, I have to tell you this. No, I only got approval to incorporate Breakfast Network last week. And that was after 2 months of waiting. I have been told, somebody talked about the ease of doing business, that usually takes 4 hours or few hours, at most 1 week. I took 2 months. Okay, I can I can see why, although they wouldn't tell me, is because I happen to be a site that comments on local developments. I suppose if you do graphene and that sort of thing, you probably get, you get incorporated much earlier. So I've been thinking to myself, why is it taking so long? Then it's probably got to do with, who my backers are. And I swear till I'm blue that I'm the only backer. I suppose they worry about foreign funding. So, but in any case, they said yes. So I'm now looking for, Jeff Bezos and Rupert Murdoch, Chinese tycoon also can, Arab sheik. I have no problems. Okay, I'm kidding. Okay, so basically, business-wise, there was that little problem. And then I was thinking, are they now going to tell me that I'm going to be licensed? I think Daniel knows quite well my views on the online licensing, which is essentially somebody in some room somewhere in MDA, not IDA, will decide that this site is too popular and therefore, you're licensed. $50,000 bond for good behavior. Of course, the government says that, they will help you pay if you can't pay, interest-free loan of some sort. So that's the other obstacle, where officialdom places on the growth of certain kinds of content. As I said, graphene is something else. The third thing is, when it comes to news content or views content, it's officialdom treats you like you don't exist. In fact, we never get invited to press conferences and press briefings. For someone who's attended press conference for 26 years, it's quite a change. As far as officialdom is concerned, online doesn't exist except as troublemakers. So maybe that's why it took so long to get incorporated as a site. It doesn't matter. So basically, what do I do now for business? I wish someone would tell me, because I have incorporated the company, so I'm supposed to go through the motions of setting up a bank account, and coming up with a business plan and lawyers and all that. I got a lot of help from people for free, and I'm hopefully going to make it a going concern. It started out as a pro bono site. It's actually a labor of love from just a group of ex-journalists and plenty of my students, one of whom is sitting with you. And basically, it just generated so much. It's got a lot of eyeballs. I won't tell you how many in case MDA wants to license me. So essentially, we thought that, hey, I think maybe it's time we try and make it a going concern, because I really don't want to have to sell my house to be able to finance a project like this. I started slowly in terms of the commerce side, because I'm someone who's failed. I failed before. In my old company, which is very big and very resource-rich, I set up a newspaper and a whole newsroom with all the bells and whistles that you can think of, and it closed down after a year. So that was one big failure. Even with so much muscle behind you, you can still fail. So what more now? But in the online space, it's a little cheaper. But I've learned a lot of lessons from that. How to go about it a little more slowly, a little more carefully, and basically, pick the right timings, and hope you get enough support. So basically, I'm willing to experiment with business styles. If people want to have different ways of seeing, how they can help and support Breakfast Network, I'd be quite willing to see what we can do. So I see Breakfast Network as an experiment in terms of journalism, and I'm hoping to see it as a business experiment too. So, wish me luck.